anything we do, I think we keep the customer at the center of the, the whole discussion and framework. And we pick technologies as the second priority, not the first priority. So that is number one. Second is the employee, from the employee perspective, that how do you bring better experience to the employees? What are the experience, what are the productivity tools, everything, what we talk about. Third is the airlines are within mass business. So what is the right cost value equation, which is relevant as we march ahead. So we need to pick the smart technology which drive deliver maximum value for us. And also as part of that is the automation. A lot of automation you will see low code, RPA, all that part of it. So broadly, if you look at it, last 2-3 years, it has really accelerated because of the disruption because of COVID. So we have to really go back to the drawing board and draw the operating model again. So tweak the operating model, drop something, add new, and but guiding principles are same. You want scalability, you want resilience, you want agility, you want flexibility, and when you have so much of disruptions. See, I worked in 15 different industries before I joined aviation. So if there is one dynamic industry, that is, I would say, airlines, where every minute you should be ready for any disruption. So it keeps you on your toes. So good news is that you will keep your model so tweaked and you will keep using digital interventions in every business and everything. Then it will continue. We have done it well, and we will going forward also it will be your focus. So anything you want to add?
I would actually want to start with very nice statement which our honorable Prime Minister said back in 2015 while launching this initiative, that this is not a decade, this will be a decade, right? So this entire decade belongs to technology. So from coming back to healthcare, definitely for us the priorities are how we make our operations seamless, how we enhance our patient healthcare, how we enhance the healthcare outcomes, so to say. And therefore, for that, there are multiple initiatives, and there is actually a roadmap defined for, like your friend rightly said, that modernizing IT, where we are revamping our complete IT infrastructure to support the future. Right, and at the same time, we are also working on all the latest and greatest Industry 4.0 mandates. While Industry 4.0 just says mentions about manufacturing, but in my opinion, it belongs to all the other industries as well, where we have to be ready for the future, advanced computing, right, automations, so to say, and leverage all this to basically enhance the healthcare outcomes. That's my opinion.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm again from healthcare. Healthcare as an industry is going through very interesting times. I mean, we all saw during the pandemic how the entire healthcare infrastructure was crippled, right? And the only positive impact it had was it accelerated the technology adoption in healthcare. I mean, the technology always existed, but what it helped was changing the mindset. I mean, simple thing as telemedicine, or virtual consulting. Both from the doctor side, from the patient side, people were not comfortable. But look at it now, I think it's quite common nowadays. In terms of the landscape that we look at healthcare, there are few changes that we see. One, a lot of focus from the government, be it Ayushman Bharat, be it the National Digital Health Mission, to digitize the entire healthcare ecosystem. Second, we see a lot of startups, which are doing health tech, be it in the area of analytics or predictive diagnosis, or in fact patient experience. So a lot of startups in the country, working on purely healthcare technology. Thirdly, we as people have become very conscious about our health after the pandemic. I mean, most of us exercise, we track our parameters, which imagine the kind of data that's generating, right? And lastly, what it did was, healthcare is not restricted to the four walls of the hospital. It has gone beyond it. Remote monitoring, sample collection is already there. But, even after the patient goes off after the hospital, how to take care of it. So there's an entire focus on wellness. So these are a few of the things which are disrupting the entire landscape of healthcare in our country. Now, when it comes to our strategic vision, it perfectly aligns with what the healthcare industry is doing. So whenever there is a business problem or something new which we want to do, the first question asked is now on the board, can technology do it? You know, can we leverage technology to do it? That was not the case, at least in healthcare, a few years back. So that's a big change, you know, that we see. Second, again, we are looking at technology platforms which covers the entire ecosystem, not just inside the hospitals, outside the hospitals, be it insurance, be it pharma, be it monitoring. So it goes, you know, beyond that. So I think that's a big change. And third, I think what we are also looking at is wellness. So solutions through which we can reduce the average length of stay of a patient in the hospital. So you stay in the hospital, you know, you like to stay in the hospital for longer, right? So look at solutions, you know, which will reduce your stay. So that's one of the strategies, you know, that's taken. And lastly, I would say the talent. I think in spite of we all do this, if you don't have the talent, I'm not talking about the tech talent, your entire workforce, you know, they also have to kind of adopt to the new technologies. Because, and that's the biggest challenge that I see at least in the healthcare. The change management and adoption of these changes in the healthcare, which is going very fast.
Thank you, Gautam. Good morning and thanks for having me here. Because many of us have talked, I have to find something different. Let me talk about, as a nation, I think on a public tech, this decade has been transforming. There is no one country who has got a national tech stack. There is no one country who has shown how it is to be adopted for public good, for building enterprise.